Buongiorno, buongiorno. Good morning. Welcome back to Zen Scalper live stream. Been a long weekend. Great time. Family, I hope you had a good 4th of July holiday weekend. I took a little extended time yesterday, Monday. And here we are back. It's the beginning of the week for me, and got a lot of excitement in the market today. So here we go. Patience, discipline, and discernment. Let's focus on these tenets, not let outside influences trip us up, cause us anxiety, cause us anxiousness. Let's stay in prayer. Holy Father, keep us grounded, keep us humble, keep us content, keep us grateful. We know that gratitude is the attitude that sets the altitude for livings. So, let's music here going. We're at the 9:30 open. As you can see, we did a pretty strong flush from the 940s, and we're just about closing out the 15-minute opening range. Mark that out on the chart here with the Lux Algo 15-minute opening range indicator. One of the few indicators that I use for the opening range and to chart the breakouts of that range. As we can see, the opening range low stops right here at the first deviation band on the VWAP. The VWAP seems to be right down the center of the opening range, the 9:30 open. The breakout range bias, according to the indicator, is downside, is short. So it's not always accurate in my experience, but let's see in which direction we go here as we wait patiently for the opening range breakout. Opening range is a little over 50 handles, so about 200 ticks north to south. Let's map that out here with our handy measuring tool. 213 ticks. So kind of chopping sideways here with golfing candles, one after the other, right outside the opening range and just to the lower half of that range. So I can get some music. Sure.
Teenagers are building businesses with AI while the only AI you know is ChatGPT.
Let's be real.
Tradable right now as the market is going sideways, as you can see here, between 905 and 22,917, just below the VWAP. Below the VWAP, interestingly, just below the VWAP line and the SR line that I had drawn at 902. Trader. I'm waiting for that breakdown, one direction or the other. And I use the RSI Scalper Pro, which I have custom built myself by writing the Pine script code and testing, tweaking for multiple hours on end, tens of hours. I have developed this indicator, which you can see on the bottom. It's based on an RSI with the red and the green lines designate the direction of the price and, of course, the candles to give a little bit better register in mind and sight in mind when looking at this indicator. Determine what price is doing, which direction it's leaning, and the slope logic of the RSI lines help to determine the strength of that particular candle on the 1 minute chart, as well as the buy and sell balloon indicators, which will present themselves on the top or bottom of the RSI chart graph there. Right now, the RSI line is just above the 50 on a 0 to 100 measurement gauge. The 30 and the 70 lines in that range are pivotal thresholds where if the RSI line crosses over the 70 on the top here, strong area of buy. That means price is heading upward in a robust manner and gives us the RSI Scalper Pro. We've also got the volume balloon indicators above the candles so that when volume increases, because the RSI is based on volume, and the stronger the higher the volume, the stronger the RSI, the stronger the strength of the candle, the stronger the strength of the momentum. And these things work together in unison, and RSI Scalper Pro is monitoring the volume, which right now is steady and substantial since we're just outside of market open still, the first half hour New York session. But it monitors that volume, and any changes in volume that are higher than the last 20 candles will be shown with a balloon above the candle that designates as 2 times, 3 times, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x plus up to that range. If we have one of those balloons, we can be confident that there's enough strength in that candle to have the momentum to give us a good profitable opportunity. So right now we see this candle pushing down aggressively, but there's no volume balloon indicating higher volume in that candle than the previous candle, so it's average volume, which is what we're seeing of what the current candles what the range is, volume range. And the strength on the RSI indicator is not substantially at the level which is below the 30 mark. It's just approaching the 30 now, and the slope is increasing to almost vertical. When it gets to a vertical position on that slope, you can become more confident in the strength of the direction that we're going. So it's starting to get there, starting to approach the 30 line, which is we're going to get a heads up triangle here in a second. There it is, flash, and you heard that signal. RSI crossed below 32, momentum building towards oversold. Oversold is where we have a very strong confidence and dependability, reliability of the price direction. So right now, as we see, we keep pulling back, and there's a slight reversing because the RSI line is not below that 30 line. And as potential loss here. All right, rejected again. Right. Bears are coming down. Strength is building. Bears being rejected. So we got a struggle here at the just on the opening range low, which happens to be on the first deviation band of VWAP. We've got one more threshold to cross. That's this important resistance line, which we did cross previously. It's bigger, but apparently it was a fake out. We probably waited in hindsight to see if that would follow through a little bit further before jumping in. But not giving up hope on this trade. As I do feel like there is some heaviness still. Price bias on the range breakout indicator also was red, which indicates that price should break out below the opening range where we are now. Hopping around right here at the bottom of the opening range. There's the first deviation band of the VWAP being rejected in both directions. Got very close to my stop loss. Not going to be surprised if we actually get stopped out here. Notice EMA is holding price down somewhat, but just above that EMA line at 9 EMA is my stop loss. I'm not going to move it. Manageable again. Alright, just be candle. Let's see if we can get some better momentum, some better movement, some volume to the downside. Which we saw support resistance line. Oh well, damn it. I just accidentally closed out. Oh my god. As would have jeez. Oh well. Gonna manage that small loss then. Risk management. Now back to the RSI, which is riding just on the 30 line, which again we're not going to make the mistake of jumping in too soon if we're not significantly below the 30 line. What I did the last time would have ended up okay had I just waited patiently and not accidentally clicked and closed this trade, but we only lost $200, so we can definitely manage that. Definitely within manageable range, thank God. Better than the $1,000 that I was looking at losing. gratitude. Let's get down below that 30 line so that we can hopefully get some momentum push downward, flush downward from here, not this big reversal that we just got. It's almost caught into that conventional poor dog, he's not feeling well today. This was yesterday as well. This is kind of affecting me. Trade here, a little bit choppy, the market this morning, a little bit risky, only trading 2 contracts. Not sure if I should lower that to 1 contract, but we're approaching the first target on the opening range, Lux Algo opening range breakouts with targets. This is the target here, number 1, and that's 50% of the opening range, each target distance from the opening range low and opening range high effectively. So as we see, we're chopping around up and down, not getting much of a breakout from the opening range at this so far. Not making it to the first target yet, a little bit close, but it was a choppy ride towards that target. Sorry I closed that trade early. You know, that happens, I'm sure. Point or another. Get your finger, get your trigger finger, as they say. Just below the support and resistance line, so that line has turned into resistance, and the 9 EMA line I have there, that white line, is just above that support and resistance line, being pushed up slightly by the candle, this bullish candle, as we see, pushing upward. I think that the 9 EMA is going to hold it down along with the support and resistance line. That price is going to continue in a downward direction once it gets control. Could be wrong, as we see. Now we just crossed that support resistance line, turning that line into support for this currently bullish candle with the, however it's getting whipped, projected back downward below the EMA. The EMA is trying to hold it down. See if the next candle comes. We've got 20-30 seconds on this current candle. It's just turned red right there on the support resistance line at the 22,878 price. Pushing up back towards the first deviation line of the VWAP and the opening range low above that. Rejected on that push upward, or continue to break up back into the opening range. We're back down now in the next candle, a little bit aggressively, crossing back over the SR line, and the RSI is still well above the 30 line, or at least almost halfway between the 30 and the 50 line. Not in a good position to make a trade on the south side, because where that RSI line is now indicates that there is a likely and most possibly probably imminent reversal. Here we are getting rejected, as you can see with that long wick. That bearish candle. I'm gonna use the restroom. Keep an eye on the price action here. Along with you. Back to it. Still dancing around, chopping around this SR line. Just below the opening range low. Bulls want to penetrate back. EMAs are all pointing downward about 45 degrees. The 9 EMA starting to slope upward slightly, but that could change towards a downward direction. In the VWAP main line as well as deviations kind of shifted from a slight upward slope of almost parallel be out of that soon. With patience, with discipline, discernment. Name of the game, it's not rocket science, ladies and gentlemen. It's easy. Put it that way. It's not easy to be patient. It's not easy to be disciplined, but it's easy to write it down. Patience, discipline, discernment. Here we are crossing again that SR line with somewhat strong red candle and not so strong now. It's getting rejected, maybe quite a wick there, about 50% of the candle. Push it back down, open up that wick. But it does not seem to be able to hold that direction. It does not seem to be able to break through that SR line, this resistance line. This is going to give us support. Price. Push it back up. EMAs are all pointing downward now again. After marking an upward direction. About 6 candles to go. Candle being a minute. Out there. Traders. Welcome to Zen Scalper live stream. Patience, discipline, and discernment are the name of the game, are the 3 foundational tenets of successful trading. We're not going for the Lambo $20,000 profits per day. Not yet, anyway. $500, $600 a day, which is over $100K a year. Make a very good living trading from your home office, your bedroom, whatever it is, garage, for a couple hours a day. Pushing some buttons on the keyboard. It's not a bad thing to do. So let's keep that mindset, not be over greedy, not be over zealous, not be over anxious. Chopping around just below the opening range low. Price wants to go, wants to flush, wants to go lower. We are also on the first deviation band, the VWAP. So price tends to gravitate to that center deviation band, or at least that's what that band designates, that line, I should say, the blue line on my chart, or blue line at the top of the chart. That's the VWAP line. Below this sort of teal line is the first deviation VWAP. So price, according to the VWAP, based on the average, and likely even imminent reversal potential. As we see, it's just a spike downward, but immediately reversed like a wicked. Now we've got a straight down RSI line, and we're tempted to get in here. So we approach the first target and get a sell on the RSI. It's better judgment. Scalp some profit around $250 because I'm not certain about the potential reversal on this. Since again, the RSI is not showing robust strength below the 30 line, and it's teetering back and forth on the candle. Keep my finger ready. However, there's one piece of advice I could also give is never jump into another trade after a small win. We took that small win on that scalp trade, and price continued on the next candle. It seemed like it was pushing down, and as we can see now, it's jumping back and forth on some whipsaw action here. And as I just predicted, or as the RSI beautifully predicted, because as I said, it's not in it's a very robust position below, well enough below the 30 line, so that would be around 25 or even 20. Okay, on that RSI indicator page, here is 20. Once you get around 20 and pointing downward, we can feel stronger about getting in on a trade that's going to continue in that direction. But it was right on the 30 line or just barely below the 30 line. Like I said, it's possible and likely imminent that it will reverse. And here it is. It's done a reversal. And reversals equal pain, right? As I always say, I'm looking for reversals. Look at that. That would have been painful. I'm grateful and glad I got that small win, that small scalp trade of $250. Back closer to our break-even point and pushing towards profitability for the day. Wrap it up. 10:30, not quite 10:30 a.m. Time for breakfast. My house. I got to get my dog to eat. Time for my cat's second breakfast. Where's his third? In the meantime, what we also like to do here Zen Scalper live stream. Let's keep ourselves healthy, focused, positive with some exercise. Get that blood flowing. We all know exercise is key to maintaining strong, positive mindset. First of all, we do some stretches, stretch those shoulders. I'm going to do some shoulder exercises here now. 20-pound kettlebell. All right, here's one good stretch. Pull up, chin pull. What do they call this? Not a personal trainer, I'm a trader. But let's start with this. 1, 2, away. Right. 4. Slow and easy. Pull to the top. 5. Just a second, and let it down slowly. Set. Set it. Price climbing up. It's grinding in an upward direction. Again, towards the SR line. Did break out there briefly, but everything that goes down must go up. Auto. And I'm not expecting a very strong push upward or a breakout in the up direction. As we are just It's not a super confident trade in that the RSI line again is holding back from crossing over or punching through that 70 line. So that means in any second it could reverse or do a pullback, take away any kind of profit. Now we're crossing over this second support and resistance line and approaching the VWAP line. If we cross that VWAP line, and as we do that, we're just crossing the 70 line and we're getting that watch signal from the RSI. The price is going to continue to push upward. Like a small $140 scalp there. Contracts. This price kind of stalled out right there at the top line, flattened out on the RSI line, just on the 70 threshold. So, kind of running out of steam there. Got in late, but again, the RSI wasn't showing us confident strength in that climb. Some people might have taken that and gotten lucky with it. I prefer not to base my trades on luck or guesswork, which would have been a guess and a gamble. I'm a gambler. I don't like to base the trades on gambling. Gambling is not winners. Scalping. So, 33 to 33. Check. Raises. Let's see here. Yes. 79 right now. That shows a substantial strength, but not guaranteed. A small scalp of $80. Deviation line on the north side of the VWAP. Also, we're not getting a buy signal, even though, despite the fact that price is at the 79 range and the RSI line, the RSI is not sloped up super vertical direction. Support and resistance line here, 939, 22,939. See if price can break through there as we approach the opening range high. See if we get a breakout on the upside of the opening range high. As we've already had a break down below, go very far and did a reversal pretty quickly, but let's see if we can get something different on the upside. So the RSI line is floating there above this, well above the 70 line at around 79 still, which gives us some confidence that, well, and now it's just tilted downward. But, you know, it gives us confidence that that might be strong enough to get in on a buy trade, buy position. But the fact that it was not giving us a buy signal balloon that might not be that robust in that, even though that the line is above that range in the overbought zone. As we can see now why price does a reversal. So success again of the RSI Scalper Pro indicator, the custom indicator built by Zen Scalper. This is a Zen Scalper exclusive. If you're interested in that, you can contact me in the details of my channel and can provide you access to that indicator. You can watch and test it as I test it in action here. So the triangles below the RSI are either light green or dark green, and on the top light red or dark red. Whereas light green in this case, going upward, is a watch signal, as we call it, which means be alert that it might get into the next phase, which is heads up. Prepare to trade. Prepare to execute a trade on a heads up. A heads up is a dark green triangle or red triangle if you're heading downward and below the overbought region, below the 30 line. So price is now, as my support and resistance line is intended to indicate, price is getting some resistance there, and we're getting some choppiness there at the support and resistance line at 22,939. There's some pullback reversal on the bear candle there, pushing downward, but still considerably above the EMA lines, which are pointing upward now. A strong motion. And as long as those EMA lines hold the price candle above, we can feel fairly confident that price is still bullish, even though that this candle is pushing down. We can be confident that it's just a drawback, drawdown for continuing upward. And there it is, bouncing off the 9 EMA, and the next candle is a green candle painting upward, but across that 9 EMA and reverse direction. As price goes up, price goes down. That's the name of the game. We make money on the upswing and we make money on the down. So all we have to do is monitor and take a ride when confidence is high that ride will continue in either the up or down direction. Right now, we're pushing downward pretty aggressively. However, the RSI is well above the 50 line. So all of these things need to be monitored in unison, in real time, using your eyeballs. And, not only is the candle pushing down below the EMA, next we look at the RSI. The RSI is above the 50 line, so it's not in a strong position for a trade above the 50 line. It's in the bullish zone of the RSI range, even though its price is heading downward. So that means the bulls are pushing back. Even though we can't see it on the candle, we can see it somewhat because the candle is showing some wicks and reversing on any progress that it is taking, traction that it's getting pushed back, leaving that long wick. Long wicks symbolize or indicate rejection, and we just got rejected to the downside. We're right back up to the EMA line, the 9 EMA, which is the closest to the actual price action. Now price is trying to push upward, take control in the up direction. 5 seconds left on this candle, which is not quite a doji candle, but we got a long wick on the downside, rejection to the downside. And price is still bullish, as again indicated also by the RSI line, which is a little bit pushing up from a horizontal position towards the 70 threshold into overbought region, which is a strong area of buy confidence, buy long trade confidence. Price getting rejected on that upward direction. I'm going to monitor this from right here. We're going to do one more set of shoulder press, shoulder lift. We're going to do forward parallel shoulder with the 20-pound kind of wall, like arms straight out and upward slowly. Hold at the top briefly, and then downward slowly. 33 times. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Okay, pushing down now past that EMA again aggressively, and the RSI line is pushing below the 50 as we're getting a flush. Big reversal on that flush. Wow. That was a fake out. Liquidity grab. That put us down back below the $50,000 break-even threshold. Above the 30. I should have again heated the RSI, but that candle was just booking in a downward direction. The RSI didn't seem to be catching up with that. Should have waited for future reference. That was a learning experience. Now we know that these things need to be in convergence, confluence. The RSI as well as the candle price action. Let's continue the exercise. Monitor carefully what happens here. Rated tree, ordered tree, name the tree, say the tree, Cisate, Giotto, Cenove, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, not holding it up long enough. 30. I make mistakes no matter how much I practice. 30, we all do. 32, 33. And I want to make note of this. This long quick. Look at that ridiculous quick. That is an extraordinary quick. That was an extraordinarily rejection or liquidity grab to the downside. That thing just booked down all the way down to here and then quickly reversed and taking all of the profit that I was attempting to take. And then my count as well. Price pushing down again aggressively, but these are fake outs because the RSI is telling us that by keeping that line well considerably above the 30 over sold zone. So as long as it's above that 30 over sold zone, look, you can't trust it. See that whipsaw effect there? That's painful. That's not profitable, that's painful. There you go. The RSI is serving its purpose. It's successful. It's successfully showing again whether the strength of that candle that appears to be strong is real and momentum based or fake out liquidity grab. As we can see, it's reversing now. Price is reversing. Green candle, chopping around aggressively, erratically. It's causing people a lot of pain who are getting in too soon, getting reversed on immediately, taking their stop loss or their profit. We're going to be wide, prudent, discerning, wait patiently. I'm going to go get some breakfast now. Feed my cat. Matter of fact, I'll take this with me. Let's go do that. Pop a cup. You can eat, please. Okay, so we did any kind of price action. RSI is, the most important indicator, the most important gauge determining the viability of trading here is the RSI. Just took a small $250 trade. Slowed down by this support and resistance line, and the RSI line is just barely crossing into the oversold zone. Looks like we're getting a flush here. upward and turned green. So we got a very quick reversal after that very strong flush. I was able to take a little over $500, get me back into the break-even zone. I'm just above, again, my starting point of 50,000 on this particular evaluation. That is believing, at least. Weren't that much into profitability before we took that loss 2 minutes ago. Now we're back. Started. What a great flush that was, huh? Anybody else catch some of that? What a great flush. What a great flush that was. That was a great breakdown outside of the opening range low. Again, congruent with the bias, which you can see the red field here of the opening range. This is the area of the opening range, which was the 15-minute range after the New York session. The red, if it were green, it would mean that the bias is towards the upside breakout, which we have not had an upside breakout. We did have a downside breakdown, a breakout, if you will, 2 occasions, 3 times today, so actually 4. Four breakouts to the downside of the opening range. They're just not holding, and like I always say, price goes down, it goes up, nothing's going to go up. Grazie a Dio. Finally, it doesn't even 2 So price jumping around now. Thank God, no good beating. Good boy. Fatti tutta la calazione, Bravo ragazzo. Okay, price will continue to push up. We passed the EMA lines, all three of them already. Actually, just approaching the 21 line. And the RSI line is right at 50 and lying flat. Not great opportunity. Thank God we're back above break even. My gosh, I got pretty darn negative. That's the great thing about trading. Pull yourself out of the hole. Careful. If you're patient, if you're disciplined, and you're discerning. Pazienza, disciplina e discernimento. E chiavi. Grazie Gesù per questo cibo per noi, quindi lo sano e nutrienti per i nostri corpi. Grazie Gesù, amen. Okay, buddy? Good job. We got that V-shape happening though. I mean, that would have been a good ride, as we know, but you cannot always predict what price is going to do without the proper tools, and without prediction, price can go either way. So we're now just touching on that VWAP line again as you push upward with this. Price actions, bullish price action, somewhat bullish. Now, pulling back now, again, not listening to the RSI, which is laying flat, well below the 70. Just crossing. RSI line is still well below the 70. It does not want to cross that 70 overbought zone, even though the price is pushing up. Now pulling back again. That's the reason these things coincide. When the RSI line will not cross that 70 overbought zone region, it's for a reason, and the reason is because there's a pullback that's imminent, as we're seeing happen right now before our eyes in real time. Price action today, great price action, but a little bit choppy. most action that we had since opening, essentially. Try to do some one-arm lateral raises. Got a sore shoulder here. Let's see. Uno, due, tre, quattro, cinque. RSI crossing the 15 on the downside, but about 45-degree angle. Now it's lying flat on the 50, so there's no trade up, there's no trade off optimal here. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Quattro, cinque, sei, sette, otto, nove, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. We are live streaming today. July 8th, 2025, New York session, NQ. Been a rocky morning. We're staying optimistic, we're staying patient, we're staying disciplined, and we're staying discerning, waiting for the opportunities. Just now breaking out of that opening range threshold on the downside again. We got a signal there. The RSI is also touching on the 32 line. I don't see that happening. Well, it did, and then it retracted. There it is again. Just touching on that 30 line, 32 line. Means heads up. Momentum building, so it's oversold. There's our heads up triangle signal flashing on and off. Not a lot of strength though, in either direction at this time. Slight push downward, let's be patient. Crossing over that threshold into oversold region. Push down assertively and then got a strong pullback. If we can get a good flush push down, break down in the south direction. At least a small scalp. RSI pushing back down, touching on. Trying to get $100 profit there, but it might have reversed. Yeah, pretty much washed out. It's double there, but I'm not sure if that's a false signal because price is struggling to push down and getting some pushback by the bulls. As the RSI line keeps on dipping back upward and turning green. A lot of green contracts happening on the volume indicator. All green. Now turning red. Even despite the fact that they're all green contracts for the most part. Candle is not moving aggressively upwards. It's struggling to push up, which means that there is a substantial push down or push back from the bears, which might indicate an imminent breakdown. A lot of liquidity down below here as we approach that first target on the opening range breakout. RSI pushing almost straight up now. Hello, Masha. Hello. 3490. Be discreet. Just act like you belong there. Yes. Back to the chart here. Price pushing upward towards the EMA line. Lucky we got out of that scalp trade quickly. I mean, this market, these markets lately, to me, scalping is the way to go. Trying to bet on long-term, multiple candles, several minute trades is it's a difficult, precarious endeavor. So much pullback that it's hard to maintain a strong profitability, in my opinion. But that's just my style. Everybody has their style. I am a scalper. I take small profit trades. I need a few at a time, or a few a day, I should say, to build up a consistent and steady, substantial income. What are they? Day-to-day basis. Right now, the RSI line is still above the 30 oversold zone, just leaning, pointing almost directly down, and attempting to cross over that line of resistance battle. About 25. Price is set. They're always coming. As long as the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. Price action is going to continue to rise and fall. With strong opportunities, strong moves for us to make money. Catching those waves and riding those waves like a surfer. Like a Maui surfer. Look for that big one, get right in front of it at just the right time, and get on your board and ride it as long as you can. Right now, right, it's choppy like water or something. Miami Beach. RSI is a 50 long zone, 50 line, which is not a good place typically to get into a trade unless its action is moving in a particular direction and the price and the RSI line is pointing at least nearly directly up or down according to candle price action. Right now, this price action candle is stagnant, stalled, right there again on the support and resistance line. It's a continuous area of resistance. Buyers and sellers are both tug of war, not tug of war, make the price go very grudgingly. Get just another set, dude. Let's do it. Let's do 33. Uno, due, tre, quattro, cinque, sei, sette, otto, nove, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Price action is just stuck right now. Right there on that support and resistance line, going nowhere. Pushing up, getting pushed back, leaving long wicks to the upside as the bulls are trying to take control, get back up into the opening range. Bears, of course, pushing back. Of course, when I walk away, it'll make some huge moves. grinding along, chopping in between those two support and resistance lines, which also coincidentally seem to be falling almost right on the VWAP line and the first deviation VWAP line to the south. So price just touched on the 68 line, which is a heads-up region towards the overbought and a safe area to buy where momentum is moving. Good in between, get your head right, do some exercise, get your blood moving. Got here. Looking back, hindsight is always 20/20. Wouldn't we love to get a piece of these rips, dumps, these flushes, reps? Last hour and a half. And right now we're sort of flatlined. Oh, what a beautiful chart. You can see that the volume looks to be tapering down steadily. just crossed the VWAP line and just barely crossing, not quite closing above VWAP or the support and resistance line that's directly on top of that VWAP. around here just above the support resistance line and the center VWAP line. Price is dancing. Bulls and the bears. Money going sideways, people. What's going to happen? Just the calm before the storm. Siesta before the breakout. The lightning. This is what we're going to have for the rest of the day. Okay, so now as price is pushing up, I don't trust it because the RSI, I'd like to trust it. I'd love to get on a trade right now, but that would come to pain, as we just saw. A very strong pullback, an entire wick, leaving a small hammer and a reversal, the red candle heading downward. It looked like it was a possible breakout. RSI said it was not. So RSI Scalper Pro once again. Facts. Want is an emotion. Emotion will bite you in the ass, cause you pain. We avoid emotion. We control our emotion. We recognize them, but we do not let them take control of our decisions, of our fingers, our eyes, our mouth. RSI has been ranging as well, sideways in between the 50 and the 70 lines. So it's just saying it's just not quite sufficient enough to take a confident long position trade. Action is tepid at best right now. I mean, this is the boring part of day trading. Again, hindsight, looking back at that price action this morning, terrible that we ended up break even after all that wonderful stuff. We should be finished by now, and that's typically the goal. But we can still close out the day strong. I'm very, very confident. People sitting in office all day long. $20 scalp, hoping for 200, but it was lagging, it was hesitating there, and now it's pulling back. But getting a buy signal from the RSI Scalper Pro, and the volume is simple, about 3 times the past 20 candles. Touching on that support and resistance line, and got that to it, whoa, passing one of them. second RSI line and support resistance line, and the RSI line is starting to point back upward again, though it's a little bit flat, so it's a little bit tenuous, showing a little bit of weakness there through these candles. So it is high above in the overbought zone, so that means that we could still have some room to run. The north side, let's go. Let's go. What do we got here? Paying attention, got in late. Let's see if we can continue this move. Looks like it, the RSI is saying bye bye. Bye, and pointing upward. See if we can get some surge. That volume going. Yeah. There it goes. Rain crossing into barely. Resistance on that VWAP deviation line. Finish up. That RSI. Pull back. RSI tilting, flattening out. Back up. Back up. All right, push it back up. spike. Spike, spike, spike. Spike. Spike up. Spike up. We've got losses.
What a struggle.